Welcome back to Fintech Insider live on air. We took a break for a couple of weeks, but we're feeling good to be back. We wanted to make sure we got you a really good guest. And well, today I have the pleasure of being joined by Chad West from Revolut. Chad, how are you, sir?
Very good, glad to be here.
Well, glad to have you. I wonder if you could tell us, before we get started in some of the questions that the viewers have submitted, you have an announcement. What's been going on over at Revolut recently? You seem to be piling out the features at the moment.
Yeah, it's been a pretty grand week. Hit a huge milestone in sort of our true open and transparent nature. We decided to release some company data on how the company's doing at the minute. So I think part of a milestone, we hit 1 million users back in November, and then we're quite delighted to announce that in February we hit 1.5 million. So over a 50% increase.
In 4 months.
In less, 3 months even.
Yeah.
Break that down to day by day, we're acquiring about 6,000 to 8,000 customers per day, and it's a very sticky topic. People don't like it when you say with no marketing, and what we mean by that is we're not doing the whole social media adverts or SEO tactics or tube ads or anything like that. It's all run internally by my guys and all the other teams contributing. So
you're doing the marketing differently to some of what people might expect marketing to look like in 10, 20 years ago, maybe, would you say?
Yeah, precisely. I think I've always believed that if you can't deliver marketing results without a budget, you shouldn't be a marketer. It's a bold thing to say, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I think that brands like Revolut and various others in fintechs, they have a huge loyal customer base, right? Mm-hmm. Quite a community around it, or even cult, as some people like to say. And so we use our customers to help us market Revolut because they have amazing experience, they love it, and if we can give them the tools to spread that word and get more people in, then it really helps us organically grow. And then I guess to finish it off, which was super beautiful, was Revolut breaking even for the first time after almost 2.5 years in business. So we did this, a lot of people came up to me and kind of said, oh, do you really want to be going out with this kind of data? And we didn't really do it to flex our muscles and be, look at us, we broke even in just 2.5 years. It was more doing one for fintech as a whole. There's a lot of top banks out there and a bit of snobbery whereby they agree that fintech's a good thing, but they don't believe it's got a long-term future. Yeah. They don't think that it can sustain itself. It'll be bought out or it will go bust. And I think for us, it was a way of saying to larger incumbents, actually pay attention, because if we can do it in 2.5 years, so can a lot of other guys.
You hear that a lot, don't you? I think it's interesting that I often hear banks sort of say that they're much more scared of the big tech players than they are of the fintechs, but actually maybe it's the fintechs they should be paying attention to. Well, to read out the questions, we are of course joined by our master of questions, the one and only Zoe. Zoe, over to you.
So, first question from Fred P. Outside of fintech, which companies do you admire and why?
So my favourite company, hands down, outside of fintech sounds cliche, but it's Tesla. I'm sure you're going to hear that a lot, but for me, it's as a sort of stern Scotsman, I can appreciate anyone when you get knocked down, you're growing up in Scotland, to get yourself back up, dust it off and walk on. And I think Elon Musk encompasses that nature of how many times that guy's fallen flat on his feet and got back up and proved everyone wrong. And if you look at his innovation and his way of thinking, he embeds that into his company and every company he touches. So for me, I think in all senses, from a branding perspective, their innovation, the way they market, the way they challenge and disrupt, Tesla has to be right up there. And then again, a little bit cliche, but just being honest, would be Amazon. I think if you look back in the early days of this online bookstore, I always love a company that can pivot. There's a lot of companies that go into one area, they stay in it, and they make it, and it's their own thing. And I have a lot of respect for companies who are willing to take risk and burn a bit of cash and try new things and expand and build a wider scale business. And I think no one's done that better than Amazon, right? The amount of things they're breaking into, and
they're taking over the world,
which is a bit scary, right? I'm not going to personally start shopping at cashier-free superstores. I'm not quite ready for that, but I think that sort of innovation, from whether it's electronics or online marketplaces, they're doing it quite right. Elon Musk and Tesla right up there. And I like to think of Revolut as the Tesla of banking.
Oh, there you go. There's a line that we can put on
everyone
social.
else has stolen the Facebook of banking and all this, but we'll take the Tesla.
Well, as long as Revolut starts driving itself at some point or something, I'll put cards in space.
I'll be a robot in 2 years.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. You'll be a chatbot, which we'll come on to, I'm sure. Zoe, next question, please.